Okay, we are live. All right. Hello, beautiful, beautiful Abana women. Hello. Welcome to day 5 of the Abana Woman Summit 2021, Building Organic Wealth Through Your Divine Gifts. We are on day 5 and we are going to be talking about manifesting an abundant life through authenticity. And we, of course, here I am joined by the lovely Agatha Atlholang, the boss lady. She is here with her divine wisdom to be part of this conversation as well, to be part of the revolution and the impact. It is such a pleasure to have you. Welcome, boss lady.
No, fine. Thank you so much. And I think before I even say anything, I just want to say good job, baby. Good
Thank you so much.
job. You
Thank
are
you.
doing amazing things, and we're learning from you as well. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It is such a
Yeah.
blessing to have you. Yes. As we start, I'm going to ask that we set sacred space, find a quiet space to be in where you can ground yourself. And also don't forget your pen and paper. Definitely, we are going to be having a boss conversation. So I'm sure you'll need to be taking down notes. Yeah. So let us go in within the heart. Closing your eyes and just taking a deep breath in. Releasing. Taking another deep breath in. Releasing. Yes, go within your heart, abundant woman. Go within your heart and begin to see your heart. Begin to see your heart receiving the light from Source, from Holy Mother, Father God, from Source. Connect with your heart to your Source. Connect your heart to your highest self. And as you do this, your heart will begin to expand. And as it expands, you begin to feel more grounded by the love and the light that you're receiving and that you are. Begin to feel your presence within. It is such a blessing for you to be here, for you and I to be here, for Agatha Atlholang to be here in this divine moment. We are in this sacred contract of this timeline for us to be having this conversation that will be channeled through God's message, using us as the vessel. So I trust that whatever needs to be said today will be said. And I trust that you as the abundant woman will receive what you need to receive today. And I ask God to light up your heart so that in your divine mission, if you had any doubt that you are sent forth, that you are gifted, and that you get to create a life that you desire, a life of abundance, a life where you are true to yourself and true to your God, a life of impact. If there was any form of doubt, it is cleared, it is deleted, it is transmuted right now. This moment, you are receiving your shift, your healing, your transformation that you are meant to at the level that you are meant to. And I speak life into everything that we do. Father, we receive your love. We receive your guidance. We receive your wisdom. We receive your divine protection. We receive the joy and the kindness and the patience that we require in our journeys. I commit and I surrender the conversation to the divine guides, to the highest self, to source. I commit the message that will come through today to you. It is a message that is meant to be delivered today now. Thank you so much for this moment. Thank you so much for this beautiful guest that I have here, this beautiful woman who you are also using. Thank you for the divine support, for the divine help, for the divine guidance and wisdom. Take another deep breath in, knowing that your heart is ready to receive the message that you're meant to receive, and that you're truly in a timeline of abundance and authenticity and love. Another deep breath in as you release and begin to open your eyes. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that was
Agatha.
good. Yeah, that was
Thank you.
good.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Boss lady, we are here. We are here. And you said, Nonofang, I want to be here as well. I am going to be here. Please tell the beautiful women about yourself, who you are, and how you're making an impact in the world.
My name is Agatha Atlholang, Agatha, however you want to pronounce it, as long as if it's not Agatha.
Yes.
So I'm 40 years old, and I describe myself as peace, passion, purpose, legacy. That is who I am. What I am is a certified personal trainer. What I am is a life coach. But who I am is so much more than that.
Yes.
I do a lot of work with people, different people from all walks of life. I help people to become the best version of themselves. I run this company here. It's Genuine Fitness. The movement starts here. This company started Ilehela personal training. I was into fitness. I'm still into fitness. It's part of who I am. And later became coaching as well, because I'm more of a holistic type of person. Coaching was something I went into after suffering depression in 2016, where I was forced literally to go on a journey of self-discovery, to challenge certain conditionings, to challenge certain beliefs and certain ways of looking at the world. And I always say that my depression was my salvation. It is what brought me to where I am right now. And I'm just a lover of people. I'm about consciousness. I'm about self-awareness. And sometimes I'm not very orthodox in my approach, but that's who I am. And I recognize that when all is said and done, the world is hurting. And sometimes it lies to itself and it says it's okay, but it's hurting. And that's why I'm so happy to be here, because we've got so many healers. We've got so many women coming on board to say, yo, fam, let's do this. Let's see what we can do. We're not perfect. We don't know everything. We're also learning along the way. And we're just here to support one another, hold space for one another, and just become the best version of ourselves. That's really who I am.
Yes. Wow. Brilliant. Of course. Boss lady, as your brand said, you are boss lady. And yeah, I really connect with you, Agatha. And thank you for just mentioning that your depression was actually salvation. The reason why I connect so deeply with that is because I know even this women who are in this container well, because for a lot of us, depression is no longer about I'm unhappy because I don't have this and that. It is actually an awakening from the soul to say, do you know how much you are gifted? Do you know that your mission is waiting for you? Do you know how many people are waiting for you? So it's literally an alarm from your soul to say, you better wake up. You are still within the self, but there is more to you. So thank you for just bringing that, because every time you talk about how your salvation came through depression, I love that you're using this, what is deemed as a negative emotion, to say, actually, for me, it was what led for me to become the woman I am today, you know? Yeah. And by the way, you don't even look 40. You are so 20. You really take good care of yourself. So that is so beautiful. Okay, let's go in. Yeah. Agatha, we are talking about a very powerful topic today, manifesting through authenticity. Manifesting our abundant lives through authenticity. Please help us visualize what this actually looks like for you, and your perspective on this.
When we talk about authenticity, I don't like to explain things in terms of words get okay by definition. We all have a sense of knowing what authenticity is. We all know when we are showing up from a place of me, myself, and you know when you're not showing up from that. You know how we want that when you become small and you don't present yourself in a way that you know that this, I'm at peace with this. And as a result, that is what we call not being authentic. But when you present yourself in a way that you can feel there are no questions, there is peace. And as I speak, Yana, I'm not lying to myself. I'm being true to myself. And there isn't anything nudging away at me. I don't see myself coming back and saying, why didn't I say this? I shouldn't have said that. You feel the peace. You feel the peace. You know, this is what your conscience is there for. You know when you're operating from a place of authenticity and when you are not. It's in us. It's not an Agatha thing coming here to tell you this is authenticity. You already know. We are always telling you what is already inside of you. We're just bringing it into perspective and articulating it in maybe a way that you never, from a perspective that's totally different, but everything is inside of you. It's all in there. So that's what authenticity really is for me. And maybe if I could cite an example, when I started personal training, I realized that I started that business initially from a place of authenticity. And then as I was moving, I realized that I kind of lost that. And losing that, even though I was making so much money, as I was losing that, I was increasing in terms of money. I was increasing in terms of fame. I was increasing in terms of people knowing who I was, the clientele and all of that. But I was decreasing in myself because I realized that this was just about money. It was becoming about money, 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 money. So I was expanding on the exterior and I was shrinking on the interior. And that's why we then ended up experiencing a meltdown in 2016 and suffering depression. So after that, as I went on the journey from 2016 right down to 2021 today, which is about 4 years into it. I mean, I think I'm 5 years into it now. I've seen myself come back to the authentic me through my personal training and the life coaching. So I hope that sheds a bit of light on what that is.
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really connect with that. Where
Yeah.
sometimes you know deep within, and I honestly saw it in myself in my journey. I
Yeah.
would, yeah, I have done a lot of live streams.
Yeah.
And in showing up, today it will be, yes, I said everything I wanted to say, it was true for me.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I'm experiencing this deep wound of, I don't feel good enough. I don't even feel qualified to be saying what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense that this message is coming through me. What will this person say? What will this person say? So the journey itself for you, especially in this journey of spirituality, in this journey of healing, of coaching, where you are dealing with souls, where you are dealing with transformation and healing,
Yeah.
you cannot ask of the change outside when there is still layers that are within you that need to be worked on. So every time I showed up, I felt like there's a layer. If it doesn't belong to you, it needs to go, because also this becomes the blocks to our abundance. I love how you're saying, I was making money. It looked perfect on the outside, right? However, in the inside, because I was not being fully embodying the true me and allowing the messages that need to come through me. Because of that, it was now, it wasn't true abundance, because you see, the money is there, but is the fulfillment there? Are your values there? What you truly value? Is it really coming out? Because I believe that as your boss lady, your values are also coming into play. They are part of your brand. It is not just about genuine fitness. So thank you so much for highlighting this.
Yeah. Yeah.
The honest truth is, though,
Yeah.
this is not easy. I don't know how you got here. I would love for
Yeah.
you to help the woman who's probably still dilly-dallying, still having days where she's still experiencing these emotions. Me as well, women who are on this journey, who are building through that divine gifts, who know deep down what is at the core, but there's that struggle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you
Yeah.
say to help this woman get to that point? Because you had to experience it for yourself, like get to that point where you
Yeah.
say, you know what, fuck everything
Yeah.
else, let the
Yeah.
true you come out and do the
Yeah.
damn thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's for me, when I look at my own individual journey, and everybody's different, but we have a
Mm,
common denominator. The common denominator is an existential crisis, which is a
mm-hmm,
crossroads, which is
mm,
where it's either a divorce, you're not able to give birth,
mm,
you've lost a loved one, things are not going right in your life, you're broke, something. It's always something. An existential crisis always comes through. And that
mm,
existential crisis is in actual fact saying to you, it's time to take stock. And the
mm.
moment, that's the first step. So if you're
Yeah,
already there, and the ladies, I take it the ladies in the group, that's why they're here, because they've
yeah,
experienced this and they're literally at a crossroads asking themselves, "Kante gren gren di kimang?"
yeah.
What is this? Like what is this really? And
Mm,
what women need to also understand is that this is a journey. And what I
mm,
discovered for myself, I mean, I've been on earth for 40 long years.
mm,
How I saw the world at 18 is different to when I was 28, and it's different to when I was 38. It's going to be different to when I'm 48. So
mm,
we are always transcending ourselves. We are always growing. We are always coming to a higher level of consciousness. Wherever you are right now is
mm.
exactly where you're supposed to be. And if
Yeah.
you are supposed to feel what you're feeling, learn what you're learning with the mistakes, with the good, with the ugly, with the bad. Often, what we want to do is we want to be told, okay, so how am I going to get to the next stage? How do I? It doesn't work that way. I'm currently running a workshop right now. I run workshops, I do one-on-one coaching, and I talk a lot about womanhood. What is a womanhood? And I speak about the four stages, where your first stage is where you come in and you are all over the place, and you're coming in very naive into the world. There's a way that you've been taught and you've really been protected. And then things start to happen and you get used or abused or whatever it is. A lot of us go through this. This is part of the journey. Then there comes a point where you get so angry and then you are like, no more. I am done with this. Chakalo. You get so mad, and then it's more of a stage of your fire is coming out, your shadow is coming out, your dark side is coming up. Men are like this, these people are like this, we put labels. And then you move on as you're on the journey, where you get to a stage of the queen stage, where you are more relaxed and you're realizing that it's not what you thought it was, where you become more purposeful, where you become more accepting, where you realize, and accepting doesn't mean condoning, but it's a stage more of peace, and you understand who you are in the bigger scheme of things, and that certain things are not that deep. What you was so traumatic in the very beginning, it's more now the meaning you give to it is totally different. It's more of, it's taking me to a higher level of consciousness. And then you get to the stage where, your sage stage, where you are embodying your spirituality, you're embracing everything. You are one with everything. So it's a journey. At different stages, how and when you go back to that being naive, you never get there. So we're not looking for perfection, my loves. We're looking for completion. There's a difference. Yeah, there's a very, very big difference there. So to the woman who's a little anxious right now, the woman who's like, oh, I can't get this right. Maloba was okay. It was cool. I got over that hurdle. I'm back here again. Baby, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And there are lessons that you need to learn whenever you're going back. So form and source are not going to take you to the next stage until we learn what we need to learn. That's why you've got to stay where you are, as uncomfortable as it is, as annoying as it is, as, when am I going to get to no fun stage? When am I going to be like, just relax, take a breath in, and know that you're on the path. If you look to what you can't control, if you look to the future, that's anxiety. If you're too focused on the past, that is depression. If you center and you're in middle ground, that is where you're living. So really, that's what it is. Embrace where you are, feel it, be one with it, transcend what needs to be transcended at that stage, and we move on to the next obstacle and the next hurdle, and we just do the same. That's really the journey.
Yes. Wow, I love that. I truly love that. I so connect with that. I am where I am supposed to be. I am where I'm supposed to be. It's a journey. It is my initiation for my highest mission. So embrace every step as it comes.
Absolutely.
And really
and
also,
just to add on to that, embracing that step, what a lot of women don't understand is this. All your challenges, everything that you've gone through, every single thing, you have a better story that where everything is nice. You must understand that your challenges are your story and they're your money, baby.
Yes.
So always embrace it. Because I mean, who wants to learn? Who wants to know that that you grew up rich, everything was perfect in your life? A lot of us don't live in that world. A lot of us are living where we're coming from hardships. We're coming from a lot of abuse. That's a story that a lot of us can connect with. So the more your hurdles, Man, the bigger your story, the more the
Yes,
money. You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
Very
The books.
true.
Imagine the books you're gonna write.
Yes, 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 yes. And that makes you even more authentic, more true to yourself, because even the clients who are going to come for, not just clients, the people who are meant to be impacted by you will look at them and be like, I've been there, so I know the direction you get to take. It becomes easier to connect to the people who are part of your mission. And that is the gift in that. I feel like sometimes we do forget that everything you are going through as a woman on her mission, it is also because the Agatha who is 28, you are the Agatha who is 40 now, but the version of you who is 28, who is 35, resonates with you and connects with you and needs you to guide her and hold space for her. And you just look at her like, I've been there. I
I've
get
been
it.
there.
Get it, my love.
Yeah.
You are going
Yeah.
to be just fine. That is the beauty and the gift of it all. So thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much for saying that. I
Yeah.
want to share
Yeah.
with the women just for a few seconds a story about how I got to know you. It's 2019, guys. I am part of a conference. Yes, the I hope you can still hear me. You're a little frozen, my love. Hello? Okay. Yes, she knows the story, so I'll just continue. So yes, it's 2019. I'm part of a conference. And in that conference, Agatha was part of the audience. I didn't know her. She didn't know me. There were about 200 people who attended that conference. So yeah, we had different speakers. I can tell you this. Throughout the conference, as the speakers came onto stage and got to talk about what they needed to talk about, right? Every time a speaker, it looks like we lost her. Let's hope that she'll be back. Enjoy the story. So every time we got to every time a speaker got to say something that she connected with or that she resonated with, she'd be like, yes, yes. And she was sitting at the far back, you can imagine. She would ask questions when it was Q&A time. So the whole time, for a lot of us who didn't know her, had to keep looking back like, who's that lady? You know how sometimes when you are part of a group, the one who stands out, you always want to be like, who's that? Who's that? So I found myself doing that. Right? She was very loud and she was like very bold, very visible to everyone else who was attending because she kept saying yes to what she connected with. She kept asking her questions. And I'll tell you this, Monday morning, I get to work. We are talking about how it was a success. Actually, it was Friday morning because the conference was on a Thursday. I get to work and we get to, just reflect on how the conference went. And the first question I asked was like, who was that lady, right? And the reason why, I'm glad I told you the story, so it's fine, you'll catch up. The reason why I was able to remember her, it was because one, she was bold enough to ask the questions that she needed, where she needed clarity. She was bold enough to say, I resonate with this. So whatever was coming forth, if she could connect and resonate with, she was bold enough to say, I connect, and yes, 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 yes. And that's how I got to remember it. For me, this was beautiful in the sense that one, I had not taken ownership of my life at that point. I was far from being authentic or being true to even, I didn't even know what I want, honestly. I wasn't sure where I'd be led. But I want to talk about the boldness, the visibility, giving yourself permission to be. Because as we are going to be creating and building our wealth, building our abundant life, it is going to take you taking ownership and being very intentional about that this is who I am, and this is what I get to do. Agatha, how did you wake up and say, I am that woman? I'm building, I have intention, I know what I get to do, and I do not get to apologize for saying yes, 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 even if there are 200 people in audience.
Well, I'm gonna I'm gonna be very honest. My story is very interesting in that I genuinely have, well, naturally, Hela, I have a very strong personality. I am what you call choleric melancholic, and I am an ENTJ, and that's my personality type. If we're going to go to star signs, I'm a Capricorn, and if we go to the Orishas, or the goddesses and the gods, when we look at the Yoruba tribe, I am a daughter of Oya. I cause havoc. That's me. I get I'm the storm. So naturally, I'm like that. Even growing up, I used to lose a lot of friends. I was the girl who was always unfriended. I was the
Wow.
girl who always got into trouble because I always asked the teachers why. Why are we doing that? You know, I always used to get into a lot of trouble because I am a why person. I am a why is this happening? Why are we doing this? What does
Yeah.
this mean for us? And I will
Yeah.
not move until I understand why. I remember one time my mom and dad were fighting. Hey, I was about
Yeah.
13 years old, 14 years old. I stood up and I said, Mama, you are wrong. You cannot talk to Papa like that. And she looked at me. I jumped. She tried to hit me and I jumped. I ran away because I was so fast. She said, you. So
Wow.
I still remember. And as such, even my mom, I come from Bukalaka. So in
Yeah.
Francistown, the way we grow up is very different. We are taught to take responsibility for ourselves. We are
Yeah.
taught, if it's not working, gal, wake up. Nobody's coming to save you. Get up, go, do what needs to get done. So I've always been that person. Coming to Gabs was very challenging for me in that, you know, I came here, I was just the girl who, I mean, I come from privilege, you know what I'm saying? And back in Bukalaka, we were not really, we didn't know who was rich, who wasn't. You don't even figure it out after your parents have died or something like that. But we were
Yeah.
just all the same. So coming here, I got to realize that in Gabs, okay, there are rich people, there are poor people, there are middle class people, there are classes of people. So I was like, okay, anyway, let's move along, you know? And then I ended up getting a job here. And afterwards, while I was in this job, I was like, okay, I was there for 5 years. And I was like, this is not going to work. At work, I had issues with people. I had issues with a lot of women because I talk a lot, because I ask questions, because I'm not going to say yes when it's no. I'm not going to say no when it's yes. So you got to deal with that. So I found that in this environment, I was really struggling to be myself. I was really struggling to be, you know, to have people embrace who I am and how I see the world. And for me, I don't try to change people. I take ownership and I say, okay, maybe it's time to leave. So I've always been that bold person. I've always been the girl who does it. That's how I left my job at 29 years old. And I've been an entrepreneur for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
If it's not working for me, I go. I'm not busy here waiting to say, no, no, fine, you're the bad person. You might be doing things wrong, but I'm going to take personal
Yeah.
responsibility and I'm going to do the needful. So when I'm sitting in a conference, I've paid good money. Okay. I went there because I need to be there. And I went there to learn something that's going to make me the best version of myself. So if I don't understand, hello,
Yes.
can I say something?
Yes.
What does this mean?
Mm.
What are you saying?
Mm.
And if I feel that this is a yes for me, oh my gosh, I feel that. I know that. Now, here's the thing. People have different personalities. You've got women in general are very agreeable. When you look at the five personality traits, you know,
Mm.
psychology teaches us this as well. we are naturally very agreeable. And that's why I do a lot of assertive training for women to teach
Yeah.
them to articulate themselves without being angry. Ghana, there's also that. There's a way
Yes.
of saying things to people, I want this, I need it to be done like this, but still say it in a way that people can hear you who are in your
Mm,
space. You understand? So, I'll have women who are struggling in their marriages. Um, it's not really that they're not allowed to do certain things, but they don't have the courage. They don't know how to articulate themselves well. And a lot
mm,
of this is coming from how a lot of us are growing up. Ne ke bitswa
mm.
ngwana o sa gakgale, ne ke
Yeah.
bitswa ngwana o e leng gore wa balabala, but my
Mm,
parents allowed me to talk. Not every parent does that. So a lot of women are coming from places where they were taught to be quiet.
mm,
There are times when you need to be quiet as a woman, and there's a time to talk. So
mm,
your conscious will always tell you, when do
mm,
you need to talk, when do you need to keep quiet. So that's
mm,
really who
mm.
Agatha is. I mean, that's why I always say my experience is very different from a lot of women. I've been around men all my life. If
Yeah.
anything, I've got to be honest
Mm,
with you. I'm that girl. Because
mm,
of the personality, I used to play with a lot of boys where I was coming from. I had to toughen up. I would watch them. I would see how they were doing, and I would learn. And being a personal trainer, I was like probably the only girl in the gym, but I was rocking it. I was the girl that the boys were coming to ask, how you doing this, how are you doing that, because I take charge. When I want to
yeah.
do something, I want to do it. And this is one of the reasons why I became a life coach, so that
Mm,
women who struggle with that, I could teach them how to do that from a place of authenticity, not from a
yeah.
place of or I just want to stir some shit up, No, but from a place of, listen, here I am. I want to start this business. My husband isn't very supportive of it. How
Mm,
do I have this conversation with him? I'm
mm,
at work. I honestly feel like I put in the work. I honestly
mhm.
feel like I do what needs to get done. And I honestly believe that I do deserve a pay raise. I do believe I
Mm,
deserve this other position. Looking at the work. Now, how do you have that conversation with your boss in a way that your boss can hear you? It's in Homana. It's in
mm,
Washakala. So that's
mm,
really where I had to come in as well. And I had to learn this as well because I'm very aggressive. I've got a lot of fire. I
mm,
I I have energy. So I had to learn how to channel that. And I had to
mm,
learn how to bring it in and take it home, set the boundaries, but still articulate myself in a certain way. So it's all got to do with self-esteem issues, really. And that's what a lot
mm,
of women are suffering from. Because
mm,
self-esteem, we're looking at two things. You're looking at self-efficacy, that is self-respect,
mm,
knowing that you
mm.
are valid, knowing that you matter, knowing
Yeah.
that you are worth an amazing body, knowing that you are worth amazing skin, knowing that
Yeah.
your hair should look
Mm,
good, knowing that you
mm.
deserve an amazing life, an amazing
Yeah.
relationship, an amazing marriage,
Eh,
amazing kids. Until you know this, until you understand self-respect, you're going nowhere fast, as well
mm,
as self-efficacy, meaning that is me understanding it's knowing
mm.
that I trust myself. If I'm going to hand in a resignation right now, after
Yeah.
working for 5 years, I better know where I'm going. I better be sure that I've got my story right. And where I'm going, we're going to get it. So,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
what I teach women, the self-respect and just nurturing on yourself and being kind to yourself.
Mm,
So you've got to understand all of that. It's like a huge thing. It's not just wake up today, say your affirmations, and that's it. It's bigger than that. You've got to be doing the work, the
yeah.
internal work. You've got to be
Yeah.
searching and saying, okay, where did I come from? What made me feel like every time, I do this test all the time when I'm speaking. And before COVID, that's what I used to do. Whenever I was
Mm,
invited as a speaker, I'd always take
yeah.
note of the people who sit in front. Then I'll take
Mhm,
note of the people who sit in the middle. Then I'll take
mm,
note of the people who sit at the back. All
Yes.
these three people were communicating something. The
Mm-hmm.
ones who are in front are the really confident ones. They don't want to miss anything. They want to know what's going on. The ones at the back, they're kind of like, okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna sit here, I'm gonna check it out, I'm gonna see what's going on. Even if I have a question, I'm not gonna ask. So what I'll do is I would then take the ones in front, take them to the back, take the ones at the back, bring them to the front. Even with my even with my classes, my group classes, when I was doing a lot of classes, that personal training,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the women who were overweight who would go to the back, I would say, honeys, come in front. I want you in front. You are not going to
Mm-hmm.
dim your light. The reason why you're here is because you want to be better. And all the smaller Nyana girls will come in front. I guess they want to show blind. And I would say, girls, excuse me, let's take those as and I would pay attention to these ones. And in a little people would, that's just what would happen. And the confidence and the drive, and it would just rub off. The girls in front would discover their true selves, and it would be just so much fun to watch them just blossom and come up. And it was just awesome,
Beautiful. Wow,
Yeah.
you've mentioned a lot of things. You've mentioned a lot of things.
Mm.
How you can transform from being agreeable to now knowing how
Yeah.
to ask for what they want. You've mentioned boundaries. You've mentioned you let your own fire come out. You are the driving force behind your business and you direct it with your own energy. I love it. Let's
Yeah.
take this and maybe just, yeah, for the woman who is building her business, right? What are some of the things that she can start applying in her business that you saw working out for you, especially in your 10 years experience?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You've already highlighted some, but I also, as you do that, expand on the boundaries because that is something that also needs so much work with us women, especially in our businesses where we work with clients, how we use our money, how we relate with other people, how we ask for what we want, right? So if you can just do
Yeah.
that and help this woman connect, especially for those who are building their businesses, their spiritual businesses. Yeah.
Right. For those of you who've got pens and paper, I would like for you to, I'm going to just take you on a little journey here on
Okay.
the very beginning. First of all, you are a mind, you're a body, and you're a soul. These are the three things that you need to understand. You've got to nourish your mind, you've got to nourish your body, and you've got to nourish your soul. And
Mm.
the moment you understand these three things, when you pour, that is when you start to come up and you elevate and you start functioning in your true self. But then there are areas that you need to go in further, right?
Mm.
Let's look at your physical wellness. How are you eating? How are you taking care of yourself, your body? And how are you protecting yourself? How are you showing up physically? Because your physiology determines your mood.
Mm.
How you feel is determined
Mm.
by how well you are in your body. If you wake up today, Nonofang, I mean, think about it. Whenever you are sick, you're
Yeah.
always like, you snap at people. You don't
Yeah.
feel too great about yourself.
Yeah.
So physical wellness is something that you need to really look into because as you exercise, as you train, what happens? You release feel good hormones. As you eat the right food, your body's nurtured, you're more alert, you
Yeah.
understand what's happening, you make executive decisions, you're alive, your skin glows, your attitude is amazing, you're
Mm.
always high because you've got the energy. That's the
Mm.
first thing. The second thing, you've got to look at your emotional wellness, how
Yeah.
you are showing up. Look at your
Mm.
traumas. What am I going
Mm.
through? What do we need to work on? Do I need to find myself a coach? Do I need to find myself a priestess? Do I need to find myself a healer? What do I need to be helping me in this area? Do I need to see a psychologist? Take care of your emotional well being. You look at your
Mm.
financial wellness, exactly what Nonofang is always trying to teach us, you know,
Mm.
what kind of relationship do you have with your money, baby? You know,
Yeah.
is it coming from a place of gonna money? You need to ask yourself, where is this money coming from? Am I having to do crazy things to get this money? Am I losing myself as I get this money? So you need to
Yeah.
understand what kind of relationship you have with your money. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
then occupational wellness, the very business you're trying to grow. What is this
Yeah.
business doing? Is it
Mm-hmm.
adding to you? Is it subtracting? Is it making you a better person? Are you showing up like this or like
Yeah.
this? Which one is it? You know?
Yeah.
So you've got to really know, yeah, why am I doing what I'm doing? And even if there is no money, I still wake up and I show up. COVID, a lot of people lost clients and all of, but were you still doing the free webinars to get yourself
Mm.
out of there so that when 2021 comes, the money starts
Mm.
coming in, you know, like it's been doing for some of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's your
Yeah.
occupational wellness. Find the right job for you or the right business for you according to your value systems. That's where you need to understand, because otherwise you are not going to succeed at business. If you're doing a business just because your friend is doing this business and she's making the money, wow, gala, it's not going to
Yeah.
work. It's going to
Yeah.
stop along the way because you don't have the capital inside to carry it on.
Mm.
Intellectual wellness, coming to a webinar like this, interacting with different women from different scopes, learning different things, you know, being open to other people. Because as you build a business, you are hiring people and you're working and interacting with people from different backgrounds. Some are
Mm.
Buddhists, some are Christians, some are Muslims. And if you don't learn how different people see the world, you're always going to want people to do what you want them to do. And that's where you lose it. You know, you stand there and you've got somebody who's very religious. Today is Eid, and you're not sensitive to that. You've got somebody
Mm.
who's a Christian, today's Christmas, and you're not saying, oh, it's Ascension Day, and you're not sensitive to that. Being a business owner takes a lot. You don't just wake up and say, I want a business. You've got to be
Mm.
open. Businesses are for people who are open to a lot of learning and a lot of holding space and a lot of understanding that people are very different. Your spiritual
Yeah.
wellness, right?
Mm.
How are
Mm.
you showing up? I mean, when you experience an existential crisis, which
Mm.
well are you drawing from, honey? You know,
Mm.
spirituality, we're not talking religion, we're talking about
Mm.
consciousness. We're talking about being one with form. We're talking about source. We're talking about self-awareness. We're talking about the core of really who you are. You know, are you one? Are you manifesting from source, or are you manifesting from just matter and that's about it? You've got to also be in touch. Environmental wellness, your space, your surrounding. Kitchen,
Mm.
you know, like, is your space clean? Do you leave the dishes there? Like, you come from a hard days at work trying to run this business, things aren't happening. You come to a dirty home, girl, you're not gonna function. You're not. So you've
Mm.
got to make sure that your space is right, your office space is right, your
Mm.
your home space is right. You know,
Mm.
you've got your art up, you've got your colors, the colors that bring you into creativity, you know, and into peace and into zen. You've got to
Mm.
really look into that stuff. Social wellness. Who are your friends? Who are you
Mm.
surrounding yourself with? Are these people adding value into your life, or are they taking away from you? Are
Mm.
these relationships helping you to show up as the best version of yourselves? And are these people honest with you? Even though they can
Yeah.
see that what you're doing is really destructive. And by
Mm.
the way, you know, when we talk to people and when we have conversations about truth, we're not judging people. We're simply saying, this is my opinion, and that's
Mm.
about it. How you take is entirely up to you, but you still my girl. Let's do this. You understand? So
Yeah.
social wellness is the people around you. What kind of husband do you have? You know, a
Mm.
lot of us are getting married from a place of lack as a place from a place of fullness.
Mm. Mm.
So you find that you're actually with somebody who does not even you've manifested this person who's not even more visioning or your purpose, and you're stuck with this person now. But then you have to do the work so that you can show up a certain way, and sometimes so that things can change if things can change, or having the courage to let go if it's time to let go, whichever it is. You've got to figure that out for yourself. Nobody can tell you that
Mm.
as you go on your journey. And your business partnerships, who are you connecting with? Like right now, social wellness, this is awesome. Nunufan's invited me to this. I would say yes to this every day because it resonates with me, and it's what I'm feeling, it's what's adding value to me. So when you run your
Mm.
business is not that entity there. The
Yeah.
business is here. It starts here. And if you're not well on the inside, if you don't address your traumas, your past traumas, if you do not address your wellness,
Mm.
if you are not conscious, unable to recognize what's going on around you, and if you are not about legacy, leaving something behind, you know, then you're going to have a bit of a problem. So this is why you've got to embark on the journey and really say, right, who am I? You can only manifest from a place of who am I, authenticity. And abundance, my loves, is not really money. I used to think, we're taught that abundance and success, Madi. No, I
Mm.
think that's Madi and all of that. I think that's just the physical,
The
everything that
us.
is inside. Yeah,
Mm.
that's the end result. Because I
Mm.
mean, for me, success is doing what I love on a daily basis and just flourishing and being well. That
Yes.
is abundance for me. And I
Mm.
realize that the less I think too much about this business, let's get this done, I recognize that so much is just happening. So many opportunities are happening. I mean, a lot of you, some of you who do follow me know exactly what's happening with the saga of mine on Facebook and all of that. But the funny thing is, so many new things have come up for me because I am in authenticity. I am
Mm.
very true to myself. I don't lie to myself. I expose all of me. I teach people what I've been through, what I've gone through. And I realize how so much is happening in my life and I'm just loving it. Naga blow
Yeah.
guys.
Wow. Another reason I didn't mention, I literally invited you for your energy. It was not so much about the wisdom you're going to share. Part of it was that, but it was the energy, the activation, just being within your energy. I knew that would happen. Thank you for that. Oh
Cheers
my
as I
God.
have some water.
Cheers to that. Yo. With a lot of things you said.
So,
Mm. Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so in essence, yeah, so in essence, authenticity should always comes before the abundant life,
Yeah.
because the abundant life, the way that we see it, I think that the way the world sees it, let me put it that way. Abundance is money,
Mm.
big car, big house, big ring, big
Mm.
everything.
Mm.
Nah.
Yeah.
Abundance is big everything
Mm.
on the inside, baby. My mental health,
True.
how I relate with other people, giving of myself from a place of fullness, filling my cup overflowing, giving you so much love, and just saying,
Mm.
let's do this, being there for other people because I am filling me up. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm.
think as women, we haven't been taught to fill our cups up. That's why marriage is such a chore. That's why having kids is so much trouble. That's why a job and a business, I really, honestly, and I'm not going to lie to anybody, the world that I'm living in right now, I feel marriage is very easy. I'm not married, but I do know that having gone through my own journey, what I have
Mm.
learned was if I had gotten married at 36 or before
Yeah.
36, before my existential crisis, I would be a divorcee. I would be
Mm.
a divorcee. I was not
Mm.
ready. I didn't
Mm.
know who I was. and I would have manifested was just in lack like I was. So we would have just both have been like this and it would have not worked. Today I sit down, I'm more open, I see further than from here, and I see amazing things happening. I see how high value men are now gravitating more towards me as opposed to what I used to be. I mean, sometimes you got to check yourself and wonder and ask yourself, why am I attracting these weird men? I mean, I've been through an abusive, exactly. I've been through an abusive relationship. I've been through all those things, and that was my lower self. And I had to go on the journey. Now it's like, hey, girl.
Yes. My God. Everything you have said, I swear it would make a 12 weeks masterclass series. My God, it's a lot. It's a lot. Agatha is a lot. And she does not apologize for that.
Yeah.
Wow. So I had to take down notes because I was going to miss a lot.
Yeah.
We talked about, we are drawing in now. There's a lot that we need to do. I really, really love that you highlighted the importance of maintaining your value as your business grows, even as money comes. Truly, it is so important. I say this even as a money coach. It really doesn't matter how much money comes in. If this money is asking you to compromise your values that are true for you, that actually connect you to the divine aspect of you that is connected to source, you can understand the ripple effect of missing out on your values. So thank you for that. Maintain your values as money comes in. Rather, honestly, you really have to get to this point, especially for me, as I would say this, especially on this mission of where you know that you are working with other people, you are transforming souls, you are making an impact, you are shifting them. You really want to maintain what is true. You really want to maintain what is true so that you keep serving from your highest timeline, right? You talk about showing up no matter how sometimes it looks, showing up during COVID, showing up even when sometimes it feels like, wait, see, if people could see my bank account. I have shown up when sometimes I'll be like, if they could see my bank account, yet I'm a money coach. And to be honest with you, this journey will only work with what is true. So if I have to also learn to see a negative balance or learn to see my anxiety clearing my account, I have to attend to that. Go within and attend to that. I love how you say capital is inside. The capital of my business is within. Actually, it is my energy, my values, my core that funds the business. More than the money, what is within, the capital, the energy, it is what funds the business. Be a student always. I'm saying this for those who missed. Be a student always and protect your energy. Protect your energy, peace. Protect your energy in all forms, in your space, within your relationships. That's part of boundary work. Protect your energy. Agatha, when you talked about relationships that are based on lack, and actually this doesn't just apply to the romantic ones, it applies to every relationship. If it's based on lack, it will drain you.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about this summit, the theme, building and using abundance, embodying abundance, linking it to authenticity, is because authenticity is going to highlight what is not true. Abundance comes forth through what is not true. So any area of your life where there are distortions, whether it's your money, whether it's your relationship, Anything that highlights lack, that highlights scarcity, and you will know in its form that this is highlighting scarcity because it's taking away from you. It is not nourishing, right? If it does that, you are not in abundance. And really the beautiful things that you've highlighted, I'm like, this is what supports the journey. This is what supports authenticity, and this is what links to abundance. Deal with the distortions, see the distortions, be aware of the distortions, be aware of what is not true. I love it. Yeah. And thank you also for mentioning the legacy part. Yeah. We are not just doing this. We are not just creating money or creating wealth, because the biggest why you're doing this needs to always be in reference. Why am I doing this? The legacy. Be the woman who buys land, the woman who genuine fitness goes on for 100 years to come. Oh, it was my great grandmother who started this business, and here I am. I'm still continuing fitness. It's beautiful. I feel like you said a lot of things, and we could literally create a masterclass series out of everything you said. So thank you so much for also
we should.
your energy, for pouring your heart into this, and for saying yes to yourself, for saying yes to your mission, for saying yes to the work you do. I feel like we said a lot, and I really I'm grateful. You made it an abundant conversation. It was very activating. I don't know, maybe you can, before we seal the conversation, I'd love for you to talk about Ikage Motswana, which is your baby, your grown baby, of course, but it's part of your mission, it's the forefront of how you are impacting the world. So please talk about Ikage Motswana. Yes, there are women from different countries from here, and I'm sure because of the digital timeline that we're in, they will be happy to connect with a very fierce, loving coach. Yeah, please do.
Ikage Motswana is basically my journey, and I've managed to turn it into, okay, this is what happened after the depression. Having gone through so many things, because really also depression is a lot of traumas and things that you haven't addressed. At 22 years old, I lost my mother, was left with a lot of wealth. I drank it all away with boys. I was buying boys. I was doing all these crazy things, you know. I was on drugs. I was on everything, you name it. I'm that gal. Then there was the part of dating some guy, some older man, because I didn't have any more money. And whoever has the money makes the decisions. So we used to fight. It was toxic. It was abusive. Then came me and my extramarital affair, well, dating married men, all sorts of things, you know. And there was the stories there as well. And then there was the whole thing with, okay, take a breather. You know, and then after that, there was me getting a job, and then there was just me saying, enough, we're done. Yeah. And then there was me coming up as well, and then the depression came. I said enough, but I wasn't on the journey. And what happens is depression is like this, you know, if you keep experiencing different forms of traumas, they build up. Picture this, you've got a lot of garbage outside at your home. The guys from the council don't take the baggage out. What's going to happen? It's going to start to smell. You're going to have worms. It's going to be chaos in your backyard. So that's really what depression does. And at some point, it's just going to be a mess. So when we experience all these different traumas, not dealing with the fact that your mom is no longer alive, not dealing with this toxic relationship of yours, going off and dating these men because you're dating them from a place of lack, men that aren't even yours, you know, and the whole thing with just thinking that you can stop all of that and then move on without actually dealing and asking yourself, but why was I doing this? What was really going on? And really going into your limiting beliefs. And then afterwards, that's me then saying, okay, depression comes, wow. And then it's like, let's go on the journey. So when I went on the journey, the biggest question that I was asked by my therapist, I went to Mumbai, where I was
Mm,
diagnosed with depression and adult
mm,
ADHD. The first question that she asked me, she said, "Who are you?" I said to her, "I'm a personal trainer." She said, "I didn't say, what are you?" I said, "Who are you?" I couldn't answer her.
mm,
For the first time in my life,
mm,
I could not answer anyone. So the biggest question that you should be asking yourself is, outside of all the money, outside of everything else, who are you? And that's the journey I went on. And Ikage Motswana is about you addressing certain things and recognizing that you do have issues and accepting that you do have issues and saying, I am not my issues. I'm going to transcend
mm.
my issues so that I can become the best version of myself. And then what did I do? I thought to myself, okay, I'm going on this journey. I'm learning so much. I'm just flourishing in all of this. How do I then take this out? How am I going to teach it? And, funny, as I was going through that, I had a life coach, and I thought to myself, hang on a minute. Why don't I become a life coach? And this will be what
Yeah.
I will be teaching. Because every
Mm,
coach is different. I'm more into consciousness, self awareness, and introspection, looking at yourself. Hence, Ikage,
yeah.
build yourself up. Be
Mm,
the person, put the blocks, the
mm,
building blocks,
mm,
become this abundant woman, become
yeah.
this woman who doesn't experience who doesn't have all these traumas, who's always irritated, who's always angry, who's always
Mm,
ready to fight,
mm,
get out of that space.
mm,
So Ikage Motswana is doing that. Botswana, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the happiness report. Every single
yeah.
year, the
Mm,
UN conducts a survey of 156 countries. Botswana is at 147 out of 156 countries, which means we are failing badly. We
mm,
are at the bottom nine. And
mm,
for me, this was a concern. And I thought to myself, okay, there's a reason why we are so unhappy as a nation.
yeah.
How can I show up?
Mm,
And in terms of building a program, coming up with a program that would help Botswana to become the best version of ourselves, hopefully take our numbers up. It was also about that. And that's part of the legacy, to say that those who are ready to be a part of the movement and to learn from me as I learn from them,
mm,
would become better at being themselves, their true selves, and just
yeah.
show up,
Mm,
less poorly in life, with less stress, with less anxiety, with less,
mm. Yeah.
such a
Yeah.
so really,
Yes.
Ikage Motswana is about that. It's my life's journey. I've got different packages. We start off with self-awareness, getting to understand who you are, getting to see your limiting beliefs. We also do goal setting, where we really get to the core of who you are, your value system. Some people are in corporate when they're supposed to be running their own businesses. Some people are running their businesses and they're supposed to be in corporate. It's a mismatch. So we get to
Yeah.
see what kind of personality you are, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what your personality connects with in terms of occupation. And then we
Mm,
talk about who you are. And I coach both men and women. I
yeah.
take them through the 4 stages of womanhood, the 4 stages of masculinity, the 7 archetypes of women, who we are in our different spaces. And there's also relationships. What kind of relationship do you want?
Mm,
Where do you want to end up? Do you want to get married? Do you want to be single? What do you want? So Ikage
mm,
Motswana is really looking at the person in their entirety. And it's my
yeah.
baby. It's my
Yeah.
passion. It's what I'm doing now. And I am so satisfied, gal.
Yes. And how long does one get to work with you? What?
Everything is 10 sessions, right? It's 10
Yeah.
sessions. Each session is an hour long. So the program is divided into different sessions,
Yeah.
different things, whether it's assertiveness training, that's what you want to learn, whether it's what you call the self-esteem. Everything is 10 sessions, 10 sessions, 10 sessions. So you come from one program, you go on to the next, because if you bring it as a package, a whole thing, that's like 10 different packages, and it's so overwhelming for people. So you start
Yeah.
with the first one. Agatha, I think I feel like I'm a little lost. I feel like I don't know who I am. I'm trying to
Mm,
connect with myself. I feel like I've lost
mm,
myself in this marriage. I've lost myself in this business. I've lost
mm.
myself in all of this. I want to be better, you know? And then I'm like, okay, I listen to you. Okay, I think the best thing that we should do is take the first package. Let's do this. Or, you know what? My marriage is awesome. Ah, but I'm bored. I don't know. There's something missing. My husband is
Yeah.
awesome. My kids are awesome, but I don't know this job. It's there's no more fire, you know.
Mm,
So
mm.
it's different things. So it's 10 sessions with everything, depending on what you're going through, and then we recommend the right package for you.
I love it. I love it. Ah, wow.
Yeah.
Also, how you share your journey, for me, the revelation is that you were going through it all because it was initiation for you to birth this program, the
Yeah.
program that you use to lead and guide people who may be at a
Mm.
certain stage of where you are. So thank you. Thank you for having to go through that yourself and using your
Yep.
life lessons to now create this beautiful package. And I love your devotion when you said, um, you want to take the nation from a place of misery, because this report highlights misery. And
Yeah.
also, sometimes I would say it really highlights scarcity and lack, the pains of scarcity and lack. And you saying, my deepest desire, my mission is to move us from that and connect us to our higher self, where we function at our truest self. It is beautiful. You talked about grief, relationships. You are a life coach, after all, a certified life coach, limited beliefs, the value systems. So this is just beautiful. I'm loving it, and I know the women love it. Thank you for also highlighting that men and women, I know for sure, I know you are very passionate about helping both men and women. Yes, so thank you so much for being of service. We all, the honest truth is, we are all souls. At the end of the day, it's not even about our gender. Yeah, so you've heard it. Ikage
Amen. Yeah.
Motswana, Agatha Atlholang, the amazing Agatha Atlholang. She is here on her mission, and she has an open heart, an open mind. She is ready to help. Do not hesitate. I love your energy, and I know the women love your energy. One of the ladies saying, I really wish all women would have had this conversation today. It is so important. Thank you for the self-awareness message. It is just amazing. Agatha, you are beautiful. You are beautiful. Thank you so
So are
much. I truly
you. So are
appreciate it.
all of you.
You are fire. You are an abundant woman. Thank you so much for honoring the call to be here. You have a busy schedule, but you saw it fit to be here. I have said it all, my loves. I think that, yeah, we've sealed it. It was a whole journey. I know you took your notes. So I think we are done. I think this is the time to say it is done. It is done. You may have just one tagline you want to say, and then we're out. We're out. I am happy.
For me, it's what is it? Um, what is it? There's a thing in me that I keep saying all the time, you know. Um, what is it? You know, it's more of if you change the way you see the world,
Mm.
and if you change the way you perceive the world, everything around you changes. Life is for you, it is not against you. Give things the right meaning, and all shall be well.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Cheers.